Welcome to the Higher Self Club podcast. I'm your host, Shay, and together we'll dive deep into topics such as mindset, manifestation, money, business, and wellness so you can feel expanded and empowered to create a life of joy and freedom. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Let's get into it. Oh, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Higher Self Club podcast. Today we are doing episode 2 of Business Diaries, which is a little series that I've decided to create that documents my journey with building my business. I have found that in my journey of entrepreneurship and creating a business, and I've just found that a lot of people share the success, but not many people pull back the curtain on what it's like in the nitty-gritty and the trenches of the failures and the hardships that come with it, which I think is the most beneficial parts of your journey to share. So I just wanted to honestly be an open book and share my journey in the hope that you, if you're wanting to start something of your own, you can maybe make a few less mistakes than what I have. So I'm really excited to share this episode with you. So I'll start off with giving you a bit of an update on where I am compared to last episode of the Business Diaries. So last episode, I just finished my beta round of my 12-week program. And now I have just concluded my first proper round of the program. So I wanted to share a little bit about that, as well as my challenges over the past 5 months in business. So it's been 5 months since I recorded the first business episode. I wanted to share some learnings that have really helped me immensely in my journey. I honestly feel like a different human to when I recorded the first episode. It's been a crazy time of growth. And it's really made me realize that business and entrepreneurship, it is literally the most hardcore personal development journey you could go on. You literally have to look at your shit constantly. It is shadow work. You have to face your own shit every single day. So your business is like a mirror. Any insecurities that you have in yourself are going to show up in your business. It's really taught me that you cannot take things personally. You have to become so comfortable with failure. There's a lot. We'll get into it, but I just wanted to start by saying that it is the most challenging thing that I've ever done, but it is the best thing that I've ever done. I can't imagine life any other way. I think that if you're someone like me that really wants autonomy and control over your life, over your earning potential, over your schedule, then you need to start your own business. 100%. For me, there just wasn't any other option. I just felt like I needed to have something of my own. So although it's so challenging, it's a chosen challenge and I fucking love it. So hopefully some of the things I share today can help you to move through some of the challenges you might come up against a little faster. So firstly, let's talk about what it was like running the first round of my program. So I had the beta round, which was kind of like a test round, and then I had built out the program and had the first real round. What I learned from that is I feel like there's too much content in the program. I found that the clients that I had couldn't keep up with the content, and I've put a lot in there. I was quite specific with not jamming too much content in there and only including things that I found absolutely transformative for my life. However, I've come to realize that not a lot of that information, but some of that information I can share in my live coaching calls with my clients. So I'm going to work on refining the content, the coursework for the course for the next round, or not the course, the experience for the next round, and just making sure that the information is, I'm wanting to include the most minimal amount of information for the most impact. So I think that goes with any kind of product that you would want to create. It's refining that product down to be the best possible version it can be to give the best possible result for whatever it is that you're looking to sell. So that's something that I'm going to work on for the next round. And in saying that, it's really shown me that you don't know what you don't know. You just have to start and do the thing. And each time you will, just by doing it, you will know what you need to do to make it better. They say that you don't learn to be a good swimmer by reading books about swimming. You have to go out and do it. So I wholeheartedly believe in that philosophy. I'm also excited as I move forward. That first round has really shown me where I want to strengthen my brand, and I'd love to do some different photo shoots and really bring more creativity and really bring in more brand identity into what I'm doing to set me apart from everyone else and to really create that clear visual about who I am and what my program is. So that's something that I'm going to be exploring over the next couple of months, which I'm really excited about. It definitely is secondary to just making sure the transformation that I'm creating is as powerful as it can be. I think that, the imagery and websites and all this beautiful nice to haves are not as important as just making sure you're creating the most transformative experience for your client. So now that I feel like I've got a better grasp on that, I'm going to start introducing some more creativity and bringing some of my passion for art and photography and video into the business, which feels really, really exciting. Something else that I'm considering as I move into this next phase, this next round of the program, is maybe bringing in a group element. So currently it is completely one-on-one, which is so beautiful because it's really allowing me to work really deeply with each person and make sure that transformation is so seamless before scaling to a fully group program, which eventually it will. But for now, I'm really enjoying working one-on-one with my clients and making sure that they're getting what they need. So what's really cool about working one-on-one is I'm able to personalize the experience to each person and what they are specifically wanting to get out of the experience. So for each client, it's quite different. And eventually, once I become even more clear on the specific type of person I'm helping and the specific type of transformation I'm creating, that's when it will become a group experience. But for now, I'm loving making it very personalized to each person. So even though we have the course content, which each client goes through, in the one-on-one calls, I'm able to really personalize it to what they are needing for their most powerful transformation. However, in saying that, I think having a group element of some sort is really powerful, especially women who are coming in and, a lot of the time when you're going through this big experience of personal growth, it can feel quite lonely because all of a sudden you are seeing things in a new light, and that might be different to the way the people around you see life. So that can feel quite isolating. So I think having a group of women who are on the same journey together can be so supportive. So I think I will introduce some kind of group element, whether it be just using something like Slack or some kind of communication program where everyone can communicate, or making the breathwork sessions group sessions, or some of the breathwork sessions group sessions, where we can almost have like a bit of a women's circle and share our experiences within that. So that's something I'm considering. I think having a community element in an experience like this is a real added value. But if that's something that you agree with, if you were to come into an experience like what I am guiding you through, let me know if you think a group community element is something that you would want, and that will help me to decide on whether I do that. So another challenge, I guess, over this last couple of months has been finding my flow with content. So up until this point, I found it challenging. And I think one of the main reasons I found it challenging is because I wasn't super clear on what my message was. I wasn't super clear on who I was speaking to, because this experience that I've created, honestly, it could help so many different types of people. However, in marketing, if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So it can kind of dilute your message. So even though the transformation could appeal to lots of different types of people, I needed to get clear on exactly what type of woman I want to call in. And as I mentioned in the last episode, it's so important to focus on needle moving tasks. And it was quite illuminating to me, because even though I said that and I thought I was doing that, it's made me realize that I need to work on being way more focused on what I'm spending my time doing. Over the years since I very first started this business, I've spent so much time on funnels, on marketing, on building landing pages, creating free resources, when really all of that time should have purely been spent on building my audience first. Because unless I have an audience there of aligned women who need what I have to offer, then what's the point? So right now, that is where all my focus is going, is fully honing in on content, creating powerful content, basically making my whole life about content is what's happening right now. So that's felt really good to be like, nothing else matters, put it all aside, and let's just focus on this and focus on building this audience. So that feels really good. Some other mindset shifts I wanted to share with you over the last 5 months when it comes to business have been really focused around maintaining energy and consistency. So in the past, burnout is something that I've really struggled with, just when, you're trying to build a business and you're trying to look after yourself and eat the right food and make sure you're exercising. And I also need to make money doing freelance. So there's been lots of moving parts as I build my business. So I have found that energy has been a challenge. I have come to realize and kind of adopt this philosophy that I believe to be true at this point in my life. And that is that if your work and if what you're building is a true extension of who you are and what you are passionate about and what you love to create, then you will not get burnt out, because it is just an extension of what you love to do. And when you're operating from joy, joy gives you energy. Joy does not drain your energy. So that has really helped me to reflect on making sure that all the action that I'm taking, all the energy that I put into my business is a true reflection of what is important to me, of what I value, and what I'm passionate about. In saying that, I understand that if you're working full-time in a job because you need to support yourself and you're trying to start this business, it can feel like you're stretched really thin and it can be really difficult to manage everything. So that is why focusing on those needle-moving tasks is so important. So my suggestion to you would be, if you're in this phase where you're like, I'm working full-time, I want to start this thing, start with content. Start with sharing what you're passionate about online, creating content around your passion. Start really creating lots of value. Talking to other people who are interested, building community online is one of the probably best investments in your time at this phase when you're just starting. And then from there, as you begin to share more and more of your value online and sharing about these topics that you're passionate about, eventually people will start asking you, can you teach me about this? Can you help me with this? Can I pay you to help me with this? And from that place, then you can be like, all right, I can create a product for you, and you already have people there waiting to buy. It's a much better way of going about it than what I did. Oh, it actually makes me want to cry. How many years I spent just focusing on the wrong things. Oh my God, I actually... Anyway, I'm so relieved that at least I get to share this with you and save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of stress. So there's that. I also am so passionate about passion-based personal branding businesses. So this is creating a business that is an extension of yourself. As I was speaking about before, creating a business that is an extension of yourself will help you not get burnt out because you love all the things that you're talking about. It just is things that you enjoy doing. It's moving from a place of joy rather than a place of obligation. What's really cool about doing business in this way and creating a personal brand and creating a business around things that you are passionate about is you're not pigeonholed. You just say you start a tea business. It's very hard to then expand into something else when you're so known for tea. Whether as when you start a business that is just about your core passions and beliefs, as you grow and evolve, your business can grow and evolve with you. This is a great one to start with, for sure. I can see where down the track, maybe this isn't ideal. Like if you're wanting to build a bigger company that maybe you're wanting to sell one day, it's harder to sell a business if it's super tied to you. I saw a really good video the other day of, I don't know if you've heard of Kayla Itzines. She started, is it Sweat? I think it's Sweat, a fitness platform. I used to do her like bikini body challenges way back in the day. She's like a fitness influencer that started this big fitness platform. She was saying one of her biggest regrets is her business being so tied to her and her personal brand, because when she went to sell it, it caused a lot of problems. So I can see that down the track that could become an issue, but I also think that having a personal brand is, especially in today's day and age with the internet, AI, everything that's going on, creating a personal brand is one of the best investments that you can make in yourself. And then you can create offshoots of that down the track, maybe some separate businesses or whatever that might look like. But I think to start with, it's one of the most powerful things that you can do. Something else that has really helped me maintain my energy over the past 5 months is this way of working. It plays with feminine, masculine energetics. So sometimes it can feel so overwhelming, like there's so many things that you need to do all the time, and it feels like you're just trying to keep your head above water. And that's when you become burnt out. And, you know, if you're someone who really likes to work from your feminine work, which is so important because it allows you to be creative and it allows you to have new ideas flow through. When you have this big long to-do list and you're trying to check it off every single day and you're just like trying to work, it does not give you space to actually come up with those creative ideas that might be the ones that actually propel you forward, because you're too blinded by these little menial tasks. So what I have found so helpful is to have a couple of tasks that are non-negotiables every day. Something that you have to do, you can't negotiate with yourself, and you know that that thing is going to move you forward in your business. So for me, it's purely just content, creating content daily. Then outside of that, I'm allowed to flow and do the things that actually I feel like doing that day, because I know that the thing that I really need to do is done. So that non-negotiable task is working with your masculine energy. It's that structure that's going to carry your business forward. And then having the space just allows for you to flow in that feminine a little bit more. And that has really helped me so much. So much. Something else that I wish I'd understood a very long time ago, and it seems really obvious, but I don't know, just in these past honestly month, it's really hit home for me, and it's changed the way I feel about showing up for my business. And that is, your business should be treated like a living entity. Your business should be treated like a baby. So my capacity was super stretched in Feb. I had a lot of things going on, but that doesn't mean that my business could just be tossed aside. If my business was a human baby, it would be dead. From the way I treated it in February, it would be very malnourished. It'd have very bad abandonment wounds because I just pushed it to the side because there were other important things going on. Your business is not going to survive if you treat it like that. If you treat it as this thing that can just be pushed to the side when there's other things going on. That's just why 90% of businesses fail. So treating your business like this living entity that you need to feed daily, that you need to nourish, that you need to love to allow it to grow, is what is going to allow your business to grow and to actually survive. This was something that came up in a business coaching call with my business coaches, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it's so true. It is a labor of love, and that's why I think it is important to come from your business from this place of joy, from passion, from making sure that it is something that you're passionate about, because otherwise showing up for it daily will drain your energy, and that's when the burnout happens. So as you can tell, it is a dance. It's a dance between really learning about where to place your energy, where to allow, where to push, and it reveals so much about what you need to work on as a human. And you really just have to be so resilient and honest with yourself every single day about, is this important? Should I be focusing on this? And just really taking a step back and looking at things from an outsider's perspective has really helped me as well. I've also really had to learn to not take things personally, which is so freeing once you can kind of overcome that little hump, because you need to be comfortable with 20 Instagram posts completely flopping. And you just have to keep going through that. It can be so easy to be like, oh, I spent an hour on this post and I got not one comment, and then just being put off for a week and not posting for a couple of weeks. You can't do that. it just won't work. You have to just keep going and almost just put your blinders on to how well anything is doing and just keep fucking going. Although, you know, the nuance to this is you have to make sure that you're being aware of what didn't work and making adjustments for the next post, for example, to make sure that you are trying to improve. But you really do just have to become so resilient and so detached from an outcome. Otherwise, it is just soul crushing, basically. So coming from a place of joy, being detached from the outcome and almost just allowing business to just become a way of life has been where I have been really operating from this past couple of months, and it feels really good. I'm also lucky because my partner Daniel is in a real hustle stage at the moment. He's working on a documentary and it's a real push for him to get it finished. So we've both been in this space of like knuckling down in March. So it's really nice that I have someone who gets where I'm at and that we can both kind of be in that energy together. So I'm really grateful for that. I know it can be super lonely if people don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. So if you're in that space, I see you, please message me. I'd love to talk to you because I know it can be super lonely. I do feel like I'm in a really good place right now, which feels really nice to say. I know what my product is. I know how powerful it is. I know who I'm talking to. And who I'm talking to now is women who are going through some kind of transformation or some kind of transition, I should say, whether that be women going through a breakup or women who are unfulfilled in their careers and they're like, shit, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Whether it's women who are in a relationship that they know isn't right and that they know they need to leave. Or maybe it's women who are single and are looking to call in that right person. Maybe it's women also who are on their healing journey, at the start of their healing journey, are looking to go deeper. Women who are going through an identity shift is who I am speaking to. As women, we weren't meant to go through life alone. We were meant to be in community. We were meant to come together in circle and support each other. They're meant to be rituals for us as we go through different identity shifts. And unfortunately, especially in our Western culture, that's just not the case anymore. And it's so isolating. So I feel so excited to be able to create a space that is nourishing and supportive and helps you to launch yourself into your next chapter feeling so magnetic and so energized. So that feels incredible. So at the moment, I'm just focusing on content. I'm focusing on refining my message. I'm focusing on being creative. And I hope that this helps you. I hope that it kind of saves you some time on not focusing on the wrong things. And also, especially, I think one of the biggest parts is just managing your energy and knowing how to manage your energy, because going through cycles of burnout when you're building a business is just so unproductive, because you start creating momentum and then you just throw in the towel for weeks or months at a time. And if your business is a little baby, you can't just keep tossing it to the side and then starting again, and you just lose momentum. Your business just isn't being nourished. So being able to manage your energy first and your nervous system first is what is going to create that fertile soil for your business to grow. So I'm just going to leave that with you. Let me know if you're liking these types of episodes and I'll continue to make them. Let me know if you have any other questions or anything else you'd like me to dive into. I'd love if you left a little rating on my podcast. That would really, really support me. And I'm so grateful for you being here and listening to me. And I'll speak to you on the next episode. I hope you have the most beautiful week ever, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah!